without love than ever before in recorded American history. More and more Americans are going without sexual intimacy ever than ever recorded history. More and more Americans have spent more than 1 year without any affection from a woman. I'm one of those men. America is having a very, very bad love shortage, and this is not good for society. It's not good for mental health. See, this is the thing. You know, humans cannot survive without love. We need love. Love is essential. And it's like a human being trying to live without insulin. You cannot live without a certain amount of sugar in your blood. Your body stops, you know, and this is what humans are trying to do. For in America, for some reason, Americans have somehow come to this conclusion that love is not essential, that they don't need love. You have a lot of men don't that claim they don't need a woman. You have a lot of women that claim that they don't need a man. And I have tried to go without women, for a large part of my life, and I accept the fact that it's not healthy for me. It's not just any woman, but a healthy woman. And this is the reason why that America is having a love shortage, a love drought. Because a lot of Americans are not healthy, and we're not healthy because we are not loved. And it used to be in the olden days that people met through friends of the family, people lived in communities, families lived together. Then the Industrial Revolution happened, the Civil War, World War I, World War II. With each generation, there was generational trauma added to generational trauma. Then alcoholism, then drugs, then the family court system, divorce, then it's generational divorce, generational single motherhood. And now you have a generation that is just basically just touch and go. It's hookup culture. You have a generation where people just they don't want love, they don't want commitment, they just want the physical intimacy. That's all they want. They don't want the cake, they just want the frosting on the cake. It used to be people wanted the whole cake, then it got too expensive. We can't afford the whole cake, so then we just bought the slice, and now we just want to sample the frosting. And a lot of things have contributed to this. Okay, like people have asked me why I'm single or why those people are single or those women. I can use myself for example. I've had women, make moves on me. I've tried flirting with women. Women have, given me their numbers. They've told me, invited me over. And then when it came time for me to come over, when I tried to call her, send a message, it's like, when it comes time to go on that date, it's like, well, what happened? Come Saturday afternoon, it's like you're still at home. You're twirling your thumbs. It's like, I don't know. I didn't hear back from her. And it's like this is a thing. It's like we live in a culture now where we just don't value people's emotions anymore. We just blow people off. Just blow someone off. It's like we don't take into consideration that person might actually really be interested in us, and that we might be hurting that person's feelings if we blow them off. It's like, people just lead each other on, like those women led me on, thinking I was going to have a date. And then the next thing I know, I'm sitting on my phone or watching a movie or I'm at the pool, no date. And same thing with women. There's a lot of women that will tell you the same thing. It's like, they thought, they had met a nice guy, a good guy, and then come time to go on the date, she didn't hear from him. It's like so many people are just blowing people off. So many people are just ignoring people. It's like people just like to, it's like people are not taught at a young age nowadays how to have healthy relationships, how to date, how to value people's emotions. People are just not, this is the product of single mother household, Big Daddy TV, big daddy government, big daddy welfare, big daddy social media, and, big mother social media. This is the product of lack of hands-on parenting and then public education. And it's like there are things in life that, that you don't learn in public school. There are things in life that you're supposed to learn at home, but you don't. So you have to go experience life. See, now this is why people are walking away from romance. It's like people are learning through trial and error how to have relationships. It's almost like in order to learn how to have a healthy relationship, people rack up a high body count, break a whole bunch of people's hearts, cheat, learn through trial and error that that's not a good idea because they're not taught these things at home. And this is really not a good thing. So, like, by the time people turn 25 years old, they already have the baggage and the emotional trauma, that people, our ancestors never had. They never had a high body count. They didn't go through divorce. They didn't go through single motherhood. They didn't. Just imagine, like, there are 20-year-old women and 20-year-old men that, like, when you think about the age of 20, you're just starting the dating scene. But these people, they're already talking like they've been through divorce and they've been through single motherhood. They don't even have children. They've never been legally married. It's like because they inherited this trauma from their parents. They don't, like, yeah. Somebody said Republicans don't give up on love. We love everyone. It's like, see, you go to conservative communities and you still see family unity. You go to other areas that are more liberal and you see more divorce, single motherhood, you see more welfare. I mean, it's like it's becoming a generational curse where these young people, they've inherited divorce. Like, it's in their DNA now. It's like, even though they've never been divorced, their grandparents were divorced, their great grandparents were divorced. It's like the divorce is encoded in their DNA now. You're inheriting generational trauma without actually inheriting it. And it's unbelievable. Like, people, like, we have to stop this. Like, we have to reverse this course, or otherwise civilization in the Western hemisphere is done. Like, we won't have a civilization 25 years from now as we recognize it today. Everyone will be born outside of marriage. Everybody will be growing up without a father. You'll have 90% of the population depending on 10% of the population. You'll have children being raised by their grandparents. You'll have the grandmother will be working two jobs, when she's supposed to be retired. And it's not a healthy thing. I mean, this is something that, people are making comments on here saying, Democrats, Republicans, it's like, this is something that should be bipartisan. Like, both political parties need to be coming together to resolve this problem of generational societal decay. Like, this is not something that should be happening. Like, we need to be able to have a healthy society and healthy family values. And that requires husband and wife. Okay. That requires a healthy father, a healthy mother. And it almost seems as if, like, the Democratic Party, like some of the comments that I'm reading on here, it almost seems like you're not going to get those things from a certain political party. Like, certain political parties seem to just leave out fatherhood. Certain political parties just seem to leave out marriage. Like it's almost like they're against family and they're against marriage. But yeah, this should be bipartisan. Like, we need to, if we can't come together for anything else, like if the Democrats and Republicans can't come together for anything else, we're going to have to come together for family unity, because, children being unloved, Single motherhood, that puts a strain on women. Fathers living out of their cars because they're paying child support like that. Like this society cannot go on like this. It has to stop. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you.